shooter this morning. We know he served in Iraq 3 years ago and was being evaluated for possible post-traumatic stress disorder. We want to bring in Pentagon correspondent Barbara Starr. Barbara, what else do we know?
Well, good morning, Michaela. We do know that Ivan Lopez was married, that he had a 3-year-old child. As you say, he served for 4 months in Iraq in 2011. That was as the war, of course, was winding down in Iraq, a rather short tour of duty. No indication that he was wounded, according to his military records. He was being evaluated for possible post-traumatic stress, treated for depression and anxiety, and had recently, according to the Army, purchased a .45 caliber semi-automatic handgun. All of these things are going to be part of the investigation, part of what the Army looks at. I think it's clear there's going to be 2 tracks of the investigation now. Were security procedures sufficient on the base? How does someone get in with an unregistered for the military weapon on base? Were the procedures sufficient? And of course, this person's mental health. What exactly was going on with him? That will be very much a focus of what the investigation looks at, Michaela.
We know certain measures were taken after the Navy Yard shooting and Fort Hood back in 2009. Let's talk about this shooter. Was there any indication, Barbara, that his war service was what caused this potential mental illness that's being reported?
Well, I think that is a question that so many in the military are going to be asking. Being treated for possible post-traumatic stress. No formal diagnosis. That is a tough thing to diagnose. The Army says he also self-reported a possible traumatic brain injury, but no record that he had been wounded in Iraq. Let's be clear. This is a very sensitive issue for members of the U.S. military. Post-traumatic stress does not have a direct link to violence. This has been a stigma that so many in the military have dealt with, the mental health stigma for so many years as they have come back from war. Tens of thousands diagnosed with post-traumatic stress come back, are treated for it, and go on very successfully, even as they struggle to overcome that. So I think for U.S. Army soldiers, for members of the military, as they look at this incident, they are going to be concerned that this is yet another stigma issue. Someone, potential post-traumatic stress, becoming a murderer. There is no causal link between the two. It's going to be a big issue inside the military.
Yeah, and it's important to point out that sensitivity there, and certainly we know within our society as a whole there's still that stigma attached to mental health. Barbara Starr, thank you so much.